Seeking the Sheriff, written by Calle J. Brookes, narrated by Tom Sleeker. Chapter 1. Sheriff Joel Masterson wanted to kick the kid's ass 7 ways to Sunday, but he controlled himself, barely. The boy was too old for this stupid shit. Joel was, that was for sure. He grabbed Phoenix Tyler by the back of his collar and dragged him to his feet. "Come on, I haven't got all night." Tyler protested, curses ringing out through the night. Main Street was fully deserted, except for him, Tyler, and the man twice the kid's size who he'd started the fight with. The two wannabe wrestlers smelled like the whiskey distillery on the outskirts of town, and Joel's eyes burned from the strength of it, but his hands were steady on the kid. Best to get Tyler out of there before Rutherford got the idea to give the kid the beating Tyler most likely deserved. Rutherford wasn't known for Friday night barroom brawls. Neither was Tyler, for that matter. Now, underage drinking. Well, Deputy Lowell had picked him up for that a time or two already, hadn't he? Nothing Joel hadn't seen 100 times in his 2 years as the sheriff of Masterson County. Time to return this boy to where he belonged, so Joel and the deputies could get out around the county. They needed to make certain the floods that were impending hadn't washed out the access roads. 5,000 people resided in the county, and if too many roads were flooded out, the entire county would be impacted. He didn't have time for some punk wannabe with a chip on his shoulder right now. The floods headed their way were supposed to be record-breaking, and he didn't know if the dams were going to be strong enough to keep the waters at bay. It was going to get bad in Masterson County, Wyoming, really bad, and it was his job to keep the people in his county safe. It wasn't a responsibility he took lightly. He cuffed the Tyler kid and shoved him in the back of his SUV, thankful for the metal grill that separated Tyler from his seat. It took a call to his dispatcher to find out where the boy lived. While he'd had a few brushes with the law, Joel hadn't dealt with him personally before. And then he headed his SUV toward the far southwestern corner of his county. As he covered the familiar territory, he wondered about the kid in his back seat. There were a bunch of Tylers out past his family homestead, but he'd never met all of them. The boy was one of those Tylers, then. They'd been contentious sons of bitches since before the county was formed. He'd had more than a few run-ins with the boy's uncles and cousins. Looks like Phoenix Tyler was following the family footsteps right down a bad path. Joel sighed, wishing the world he lived in could be a hell of a lot different. Part of the problem with the Tylers he knew was a simple lack of economic opportunity.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?